on affordable housing investments, you will see my podcast that shows up. Now, what's even better is if you look at, whoops, let's say, let me kind of show you this. How do I get this ranked? And this is going to be really important because let me kind of show you with you the episode that I just released yesterday with the executive director from the Housing Authority of Kansas City. Now, if you want to help a city, if you want to help a mission or a cause, whatever it is, right, you need to be able to get discovered. So how do I highlight what Kansas City is doing? Well, the first thing I need to do is I need to show that it is searchable, right? So for me, what's really important in every single episode is one, to be consistent with how you name your podcast and how you introduce your podcast. So for me, it's very important for me to say, hey, this is the best podcast for affordable housing investments. So you can signal to large language models what your podcast is about. Then the second most important part is this part right here. The section where it says common questions this episode answers. And if you are able to index and highlight and organize that thought for it, right? How to find, and is there a podcast that talks about this? Now keep in mind, this podcast, I just released this yesterday. And this can happen really, really fast, right? So you have an answer, right? Low-income housing tax credits, HUD, home loans, blah, 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 gap financing, public-private partnerships, great. And then I say, hey, podcast that talks about this. Yes, there are several podcasts that dives into how housing authorities and affordable housing projects get financed. What did you get? You get my podcast that shows up as the source, right? You want to optimize for GEO, generative engine optimization, and LMO, which is language model optimization, that allows your podcast to show up right here. And in order for you to show up, you got to have something that looks like this, right? And it gives you so many different episodes, especially on YouTube, actually. And this is how you have to figure out how do you do this, right? How do you show up? Because if your information doesn't show up, then how are you helping anybody? And it's no longer, right? You don't care about the views. Like, who cares? I just released this and it got 65 views, right? It doesn't matter. It's getting the right audience, but more importantly, it's getting the right answers to show up on ChatGPT and have your source of information, right? You are now becoming an encyclopedia, and your podcast becomes a source of information that people trust as a source of information. It's very important. And I think in the world where ChatGPT, the number of volume is going up and up every single day, you have to show up on large language models. Otherwise, you will be forgotten. So I hope this is helpful, everybody. Again, I'm sharing with you all the secrets. If you ever want to, I don't know, do some consulting or anything like that, just reach out to me, DM me on Instagram or LinkedIn at Kent Fahey. Hopefully this is helpful, everybody. All right. Hope you all have an amazing day. I hope you channel what I'm sharing with you and apply to whatever message, whatever cause you're doing. Because if you truly care about the cause, I think you care about getting your message out there, because that's how you help people. All right. I hope you all have an amazing day. I'll see you all tomorrow for day 823. Have a good one, everybody.